welcome back to my channel. So today's video we're going to be doing a full face of AOA Studio, and all of these products that I have here are from Miss A, and I have a Miss A shop in my state. So I figured I would just get on here and test out some new to me makeup items from that store that I have not yet tried. And some of the items I have already been using. And we also have a couple of Dollar Tree items just to fill in the gaps of products that I don't have. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I just finished wearing a tea tree mask because I had some redness going on in the cheeks. I need to use a toner, so I'm going to be using my Dermasil Lab Milky Toner, and this is from Dollar Tree. And I actually have been using this like the past couple of weeks, and I really like this toner. I've been seeing a lot of hype on TikTok about this toner, and I can see why. It's very hydrating and it's like really soothing. And also from Dollar Tree is my moisturizer. And I have been using this a lot. And I really like this moisturizer because it's kind of like lightweight. So I think that's all that I'm going to be putting on my face today. It is like midnight when I'm filming this, so I don't want to like cake on a bunch of stuff right now. And you know what? I completely forgot to put on my hand cream. My hands have been super dry recently. And the hand cream that I'm using this month is by Perfectly Posh On the Bright Cider. And this smells so good. This is like apple cinnamon sugar hand cream, and it's amazing. It's like my all-time favorite fall hand cream, and they're just as good as the Bath and Body Works hand creams. Like, my skin has been like struggling this month, and it is starting to get cooler. Like the other night it was 62 degrees, and I was like, I had to go grocery shopping and I was like freezing. And whenever the temperatures drop around like 72, like below 72 degrees, I get like really cold. And when it hits the 60s, that's like when I start shivering. And I did take off my Halloween nails just because I'm going to start getting into my fall theme nails. And I don't know, I'm kind of craving like a berry color. But before I do that, I need to kind of let them grow a little bit. And I feel like they're really discolored, so I want to kind of let them breathe for a bit. So to get started, we're going to be using Amuse eye primer, and we're just going to put that all over the eye. And this is a primer I have been using recently, and this primer is actually not bad for $1, but if you're going to be wearing makeup like for longer than, I would say, like 4 to 5 hours, definitely use like the e.l.f. Lock It Down primer, because this primer does crease. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to be digging into this palette here, and this is my first time actually applying it on my face. I have actually used this just to like swatch out colors. This is the AOA Studio eyeshadow palette. The name is called Expressionism, and it has 9 colors here. It has 6 shimmers and 3 matte shades. And I picked this up because I feel like this is a really good like fall palette, or for everyday wear even. You do have a couple of berry shades, a couple of neutrals, and then you have that pop of red that I really liked. First off, I'm going to be taking this shade here. This looks kind of like a neutral color, and I figured I would just use this as a base. And then next we're going to start off with the outer corners. And I'm going to be taking this fluffy brush here. And I think for this look, I want to do something like fall inspired. So I'm going to be starting off with this lighter brown shade here. And I'm going to actually just start at the crease. And I want to use this color to kind of transition the other colors. I'm kind of blending out to the inner corner as well, but I'm not going to do too much. This is a really pretty brown. And I think I want to play around with that red shade here. So I'm going to be taking my eyeshadow brush and apply that to the lid. And right off the bat, just using the brush, this one isn't that pigmented. I feel like we're going to need a couple more coats. So let's just apply a little bit more. Okay, that is much better. And I can even use my finger, but I'm going to be applying another color on top of this. This is a really beautiful, like, it's kind of giving off like a peachy color. It doesn't look as red as it does in the pan. So then I'm going to be taking my finger and I'm going to be applying this orangey shade here. And I'm actually going to plop that right on top of that red. So this shimmer is actually very light, but it's really pretty and it's very subtle. And I'm going to be using this berry shade here, and we'll see what that does. And I think I'm going to put that on the crease. And then next I'm going to be taking this dark brown shade here. And this one is a dark matte brown. And we're going to be plopping that on the outer corner. And I'm also going to take my fluffy blender brush and I'm just going to blend that out. And then we're going to go back in with the brown and I'm just going to darken it up a little bit. So this brown is not as pigmented. It's kind of light. I'm a little bit disappointed. It kind of looks like this shade here. And it does get a little bit dark when you apply your fingertips. I'm going to go back in with that berry color and I'm just going to use my fingertips and just apply that to the crease. I feel like I lost that shimmer. I'm going to go back in with that orange shade and apply that on top of the lids. For my inner corner, I'm going to use this light shimmer here. And apply just a little bit. You get quite a bit of fallout with this light shade. This light shade here is extremely like flaky, and the glitter in it is kind of like thicker than the other ones, but it's actually really pretty. So I'm actually just going to bring that just over the top. Honestly, I'm not sure how I like the eye palette. I feel like the colors, I mean, it does take some time building up the colors. I don't know, I feel like I have used better, cheaper quality eyeshadow palettes. But I'm not really going to completely judge it if it's my very first time using it. But I would say like for just like literally $1, like that's not bad at all. And I like with this look, you can kind of see the transition of the different colors. Then next, we're going to be taking this Inner Self Color Correcting Primer. And today, this product is perfect because I do have some color on my cheeks. So we'll see how that works. And this one is a purple primer. And they have like 2 other primers. I think they have a green one, and then they have just like a skin tone one. Right off the bat, I don't feel like it covered up my pores very well. Yeah, it didn't really do much, but we'll keep going. Now that I have on my primer, I'm going to be trying the AOA Studio Dewy Blend Foundation. And this one comes in a liquid pump. And when I took the plastic off, I freaked out because I couldn't find the hole. And I was like, did I get a defective one? But this actually has a lid. I have not seen that before on a foundation. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. And this is my first time using a $1 foundation product. Honestly, I don't really like $1 foundations because I feel like the coverage isn't very great. But I wanted to test it out. So I decided to give this a chance. And I picked the shade closest to my skin tone. And right off the bat, this is not really my skin tone. This looks like it's going to be yellow. Ooh, it has like a really bad smell to it. It smells like chemicals. Actually, I'm going to be using my brush. That way it kind of blends in better. Oh my gosh, I don't think this is my color. This is like super yellow. I'm going to keep going with this because I'm challenging myself to try out some new products. Once I find like a routine that works for me, it's very hard for me to get myself out of it. But like, I kind of want to branch out a little bit coming up. Try some new foundations and get some new makeup in my collection. Yeah, this is not my skin tone at all. Like, this is, I look like I'm, like I have like the stomach flu. And I'm tempted to use my regular foundation, but for the sake of this video, I'm not. So they did have a lighter shade, but that one was very white, and I knew it wouldn't work out. And I don't know, maybe I should have picked out all of them, but we'll just see. Yeah, so this is actually pretty dewy. The color is not my color at all, but it is very soft and like creamy, which I'm pretty surprised about. Like, it's actually like almost like a velvety smooth texture. And that blended out very nicely with my brush. I think I'm just gonna use both of these colors, even though it doesn't really match. Like, I kind of wanted to keep this like a fall look, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna be taking this blush duo, and this is also from Miss A. This is by AOA Studio, and these are bloomers, and basically what it is it's a cream and a powder blush. So let's go ahead and try on the cream. Oh my god, that is like fluorescent. That is like fluorescent. Holy cow, I've never seen a blush that bright. So let's just blend that in. Yeah, these are extremely pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way with these. And I can say this blush is leaning towards like spring and summer. But they didn't have other colors like at the store, so I'm just kind of dealing with what I got. But these blend out very nice. And you can definitely build up the color. So I actually like this blush. It does look exactly as it does in the packaging. It blends out very nice. So then next from AOA Studio, I have the Soft Touch Blurring Powder Foundation. And I need to take off the plastic. And I got this in the shade M1, and this one was as close as I can get to this color here. So I'm going to be using my Be Pure concealer, which is from Dollar Tree. So then we're just going to dive right into this. Wow, this is super powdery. Yeah, I just barely dipped my brush into it, and it's like has a lot of fallout. Wow, and you can see like the dewiness of the foundation. That's like really pretty. Wow, that's like pretty good. Like, I really like that. I definitely do feel like it does have that blurring effect. Wow, I'm like honestly shocked with this. I've never used a foundation that's like only $1 that's like actually really good. So I'm impressed with this. So we're gonna be working under the eyes. I think I'm going to, because this isn't as pigmented, I think I'm just going to use this dark shade here and apply that under my eyes. And as I'm getting up close to the camera, you can kind of see how like flawless this foundation is. Like, that is super shocking, like how good this is. And now that I have color under my eyes, I'm going to be taking that highlighter shade here, and I'm just going to apply that to the inner corners. I'm just going to take my finger and apply a little more. That's much better. And I did pick out some colors. So honestly, like, this is giving less Halloween vibes and more like fall vibes. So I really, this is too dark for me to use. So I think for this look, I'm just gonna do like my own lip combination, and I'm going to be using this older eyeshadow palette. And we're just going to use this to line my lips. And this is my favorite little like cheap lip hack if you don't have any lip liners. To do this, I always make sure to wear some lip balm. Otherwise, the eyeshadow will not stick to your lips. So we're going to kind of keep this like a fall-inspired look. So I'm going to be using my LA Colors lipstick in Natural Shine. And then over that, we're going to be using the AOA Studio Lip Oil. And I'm not going to directly put this on my lips just because I don't want to make the bottle dirty. So I'm just going to take a clean finger and apply that right on the top. And when I do this, I don't press very hard. I just do like very light. That way it doesn't like take away the color. And then I normally go in again and then I do the bottom. So I'm going to be lining my eyes with some black eyeliner. And then I'm going to very lightly apply towards the base of the lashes. Now I'm not the best at tightlining my upper lash line because I almost always poke my eyeball and everything gets messy. I kind of just apply to the top. Yeah, that's not very good. Okay, I was able to get it a little bit, but I'm not like the best when it comes to this. I see how like that looks super crappy. But I did the best that I could. So I'm going to take my smudger brush and kind of smudge it out a little bit. And one thing I really like about the Wet n Wild eyeliner is it's really easy to smudge. And it's one of the more affordable eyeliners out there. So then next I'm going to be using my Maybelline Last Sensational Skyhigh mascara. And this has been my favorite mascara as of recently. It is so beautiful. And even though I'm probably going to take this off in about an hour, this is waterproof. And it's the only mascara I have at the moment. I feel like this mascara kind of like hugs every lash. And it makes my eyelashes like really lengthy. You can kind of see the difference. And on my lips, you can kind of see how all the colors blended together to get this really beautiful like nude shade. I love it so much. Now when you apply eyeshadow as a lip liner, it doesn't last as long as a traditional lip liner. So just if you do end up doing this, keep in mind it doesn't really last that long. So if you are going to be eating or drinking, I highly recommend splurging on an actual lip liner. I just do this because it's inexpensive and I'm just trying to use up that makeup palette. I've gotten like really good at using just like one hand to apply mascara while I'm recording. Normally I would have to like physically get up and go to the other bathroom with a mirror, but I've gotten really good at like just doing that. So then lastly, I feel like my cheeks don't really need any more blush, but I'm just going to go with my regular routine. And I'm going to be applying some of that powder blush over the top as my last step. This blush here is like a super light pink color. So when I apply that to the top, ooh, I kind of get like more of a neon pink. That like pops. Yeah, that's like super pink. So I actually liked how it looked with just a cream blush. But I guess like if it were more like springtime, I would probably use the powder blush on top. But this is really beautiful. And lastly, actually we have a couple more steps. I'm going to be using my AOA Studio highlighter palette. And we're just going to combine all the colors together. You know what I almost forgot to do? I forgot to apply my bronzer, so we'll just do that real quick. I'm using my old bronzer here. I feel like my foundation needs a little bit more color. Lastly, we're going to be setting my under eyes with the AOA Studio setting powder. And I don't think this came with any powder puff. So we're just going to borrow it from another setting powder. So that is the completed look. And you know what? I really loved how it turned out. That is actually like, this whole look is really beautiful. And I'm actually completely shocked that I really like the foundation as well as the powder. Like, this is amazing. The fallout is kind of like a lot when you with the powder, but like these work really well together. Like, and I do feel like it definitely makes your skin really dewy. And I don't even have my dewdrops on my face today, and my skin looks really nice. So I'm gonna see if I can pick up the other colors and maybe I can make my own custom skin color that matches my skin a little more, but I'm really impressed with this. I think this was only $1.80 or $2.88, I can't remember. So definitely check out Miss A's shop. You can order on the website, or if you do have a store near you, you can order it. You can find it and you don't have to pay shipping. I have to say, this blush is really amazing. It's definitely worth $1. I feel like if you want to use this under the makeup, maybe leaning towards like fall or winter, definitely use this shade under your powder. And then if you want to make this really neon and super pink, then apply the powder blush on top. I feel like just using the cream makes it more natural. And then the powder blush, I'm gonna have to try it on by itself, but the blush is really pretty if you're into pink. I guess I really like this eyeshadow palette. When I was first applying it, I wasn't really sure about it. I feel like the colors aren't as pigmented, but when I kind of add like the second coat and just kind of play around with the different colors, this makes a very beautiful, inexpensive palette. And honestly, I know a lot of people, and honestly, definitely myself, I'm I'm in a struggle boat too. Everyone out there is struggling, and I know makeup is very expensive, and you know, we all have to watch our budgets nowadays. Definitely don't sleep on Miss A or even Dollar Tree products. But Miss A has makeup products that are even cheaper than Dollar Tree. Some products are $1.88. But you can find some really good stuff there, and I honestly would wear this if I was out of my foundation and I was short on money. I would definitely wear this. Even though it's not really my shade, I would probably mix the other colors to find something that matches. The only thing I wasn't too sure about was the primer. I don't feel like it did anything for my skin, but that foundation really did cover up pretty much everything. It wasn't the worst one that I've used. I just feel like it was a little bit greasy and it didn't really cover up my pores as much as I wanted. You do get quite a bit in here, and I only paid $1.88 for all of this, and it's like filled all the way up to the top. And if this is your first time watching me, I actually use this Amuse eye primer. This is from Miss A, and this eye primer, for the price you get for just $1, it's not bad at all. Very inexpensive, and it does a pretty good job at holding eyeshadow. My cats are fighting outside my door right now, so I'm going to try to hurry this up. But yeah, like I loved this makeup look actually better than I expected, and I just feel like this looks really flawless. Like, we're talking about makeup from like a dollar store. Like, that's super amazing. So I'm excited. I want to do more looks with this palette. I feel like overall this is a really good palette for the fall time or everyday wear. And I think I may end up doing another video coming up with this eye palette. And for this entire look, I kind of feel like this kind of like with the eyes and the lipstick, it kind of gives me like fall in the 1990s, which I really love. Thank you so much. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching my video today, and I hope you guys are enjoying the fall season. I'm going to be listing all of the products down below, so make sure you check out my description bar. So make sure you check out the description bar where I'm going to list everything, and just remember to make sure you pay it forward today and make sure you are kind. And this week I actually witnessed someone paying it forward at the grocery store, and it's just really nice to see like people actually helping each other out in times of need, especially with people not getting their food stamps this month. And it just kind of like restores my faith in humanity a bit whenever like people help each other out, and I'm actually like witnessing kindness for once. So anytime I say like pay it forward, like if you can pay for someone's grocery bill, like buy, you know, maybe get a couple of goods and don't drop them off at a food bank, and just do your best to be a good person. Or if you're unable to do that, just compliment someone, just be nice to someone, make someone's day. Even leaving a comment on Facebook, that's really positive, because there's so much hate on social media, and I've gotten my fair share of rude comments. I don't really pay attention to those because I'm kind of like in my season of we all need to be kind to each other, especially in 2025. So yeah, just, you know, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.